Welcome Neil Patrick Harris and Alyson Hannigan. Hi. Hello. Nice to see you. Oh, you are so funny. I just love it.
Such a pleasure. Hi, everybody.
Hi. We were talking about first introductions. Alyson, your husband's actually here in the audience.
Yeah.
Were you worried about introducing him to your friends at first? Was he a snore?
No, actually, it's funny. We were friends for 1.5 years before we started dating, and I actually tried to set him up with my best friend.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
And then afterwards, we walked out, and my best friend was like, "He's perfect for you."
Oh, no way. See, it all comes around backwards like that.
On you? Is that what happened?
So maybe she thought it was fun.
I have to ask, because you guys both, I mean, you child stars from the beginning. Alyson, you've been in commercials since you were young, first movie role at 14. You were, I mean, Doogie Howser, hello, everyone loved you then, but you guys turned out so normal and nice. Yeah, I mean, if you had to say, like, what kept you from turning out, say, like, Danny Bonaducci? Just wondering, how did it all end up normal?
I just attribute it to great parents. Ron and Sheila are my folks, and we grew up in Albuquerque, and New Mexico is a pretty relaxed state. And every time we were finished filming, we'd go back home, and my parents sort of just kept me grounded. And they were always very sketchy about the whole business, so they weren't sort of enamored by the fame end of it. They were just worried that I was going to be taken advantage of, so they were always really protective, and that helped a lot.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Do they still call you Doogie, though?
My parents? No, thankfully not.
Do you still type
That's going to
everything?
hound you. They'll hound you, right?
Well, yeah, it's an odd name.
Yeah.
I mean, and now I'm on another show, and my name's Barney, so I think I'm going to be cursed with bad names my whole life.
But you both agreed not to do a sitcom again, and then suddenly you met?
Neil did. He actually was in my living room a couple months before we shot the pilot, swearing he would never do a half hour again. And I was like, it's the best life. One, you get to go have fun and be funny, and you can make appointments and go to the dentist, and you know, it's a really lovely schedule.
I wanted to be like on an Alias show or some kind of cool crime drama, but then she said, you know, you work 14 hours a day every day, you have no life.
No weekends, because Friday you work.
Out of the year.
What about Cirque du Soleil? I hear you love that. Why don't you do that?
Oh, I would love to.
Really?
I'm obsessed with those.
Are you still
I take a trapeze class in
Do you wear the tights and everything?
No, I don't wear the tights.
There we go again. Only in his bedroom, never on the right.
He wears tights to rehearsal.
No, I love the variety arts, the magic and the juggling and the acrobats. I've always been a big fan.
Unbelievable. They're so good.
I want to host a show like an Ed Sullivan show and do like variety.
Why don't you do that? Why not do that?
I just might.
You
Okay, good.
should.
You just pitched it right here.
I want to talk about the guy that was in the tape with you, that little snip with you. That's Josh
Radnor.
Radnor, yeah. And he plays your best friend in the show.
Yes, he does.
But you have actually performed with him in the past in sort of a slightly more intimate way.
Yes, we did the LA production of John Robbie Bates's The Paris Letter, which was actually just here in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And I play a guy in the 70s who seduces Josh. And so we had
Did you have the tights on for that? Or?
No tights for that, but we did have to make out every day.
Did you?
It was crazy.
What's making out mean in America?
Kissing, snogging.
Oh, right, okay.
Snogging, I believe.
Snogging?
Yeah.
Not shagging. That's a
Hey,
Delay. Alyson, you have had such memorable roles, one being the one on Buffy. I mean, everybody knows that. And then also, in terms of American Pie, the band camp.
Yes.
I mean, you played that nerdy but so naughty band camp member. And which do people remember you most by? Do they always ask you to talk about the one time at band camp?
Yes. Well, the American Pie fans are definitely different than the Buffy fans.
Yeah.
And the American Pie fans are the more vocal, sort of driving down the street, you get shouted at, you know, that kind of, like, hey, band camp chick! And I'm like, oh, okay.
They were hysterical. I hear you guys have an ongoing battle having to do with Halloween.
Yes, we have a little bit of a rivalry going on.
Who throws
It's
a
a
better
touchy
bash?
subject.
Neil?
I love the
I
Halloween.
do.
It's just
So
a
do I.
great holiday. And so I have a cul-de-sac. I live on a cul-de-sac street. And so we do a haunted house in our backyard every year. And now there's like 200 or 300 kids that go through the backyard.
Okay, that's nothing. I have 2,000 kids that come to our neighborhood. They like bus kids into our... I have a storage unit all year around just for Halloween.
Just full-size candy bars.
It's really, like the neighborhood has sidewalks and they're well lit, and it's just a safer neighborhood, so people from bad neighborhoods sort of
come to your neighborhood.
So
you guys are fighting and have some competition. Well, why don't you do this?
She inherited this street and these 3,000 people, and I'm trying to create a haunted house with my own hands.
But I say move it over to my neighborhood and we'll get more bang for the buck.
Do you guys dress up? Do you dress up at Halloween?
Oh yeah.
What are you going to do this year? Do you know?
Mine's called Asylum this year. And it's a horrible, insane asylum where there's lobotomies and shock therapy treatment.
Why don't you guys take some pictures, send them in, and then let the ladies here decide.
You can vote.
Perfect.
Oh, thanks for coming, you guys. The show is awesome all the way. Our thanks to Neil, Patrick Harris, and Alyson Hannigan. How I Met Your Mother airs Monday nights. It's cute. Check your local listings for times. We'll be right back with Joy's Month in Review.